The idea was, go ahead, would you tell them what you was telling me about the kicks?
Centerline kicks. All kicks
Centerline.
on the centerline.
Oh, don't talk to me, talk to them.
All kicks are on the centerline.
What about it?
I mean, we kick from the centerline as opposed to chunk Q neutral from the side. If we're kicking here, if we're staying here, but kicking out there like other styles, we're not gonna see us like that or that.
Okay, let's make it. What he's referring to is we have our center line. The opponent has their center line. When it comes to center line relationships, the one relationship of center line you're not going to break from is your own. Okay, let's start there. So in that point, and the reason why I said it like that is because of this. If Will was to turn, people would just think about this center line with his frog buttons, with the kung fu look, you know, that clean looking Blue Ranger type of outfit. Yeah, I said it like that. I want to sound country a little bit. But if he turned, people may not understand that this is center line, the new center line facing you. People won't even see it like that. Now, if I was like this and he's turned like that, I am a pseudo down neutral. He's turned, so he's really in more of a chum Q neutral. He's in the idea of going chum Q. Every time he turns the new center line. If you ever see a science book, if you ever wonder why you got to pay attention in science, you have latitude and longitude. Latitude is the center line of the earth. Longitude is this way. So you got latitude, straight down. We are all governed, not just by gravity, but by the latitude and longitude of this earth. We are all our own earths. Forget going out the Milky Way to find a new earth. We are the new earth. And in that, every time he turns, there's a center line waiting. Just like last week, me and him was talking, we didn't film this, but we may have to film this one day. We was talking about pressure points. And I mentioned the fact how just on the center line alone, every pressure point is about that first line and the thumb up away from each other in pressure points. When in other places, it doesn't work that way. It's not just this short of a space difference. Like that's important to know, you know. I mean, I don't teach pressure points because Wing Chun actually shows you the pressure points, but I may have to do a video on it. I may have to teach pressure points on this dang channel.
You definitely be doing something no other Wing Chun guys doing.
That would be first. The last time someone ever really taught pressure points in Wing Chun, it was William Chung. He had the seminars they uploaded to YouTube, therefore he gets that credit. So, but every time he turns, every time I turn, if he was to have his Wing Chun Jung Sao up here, or whatever, he got a Tong Sao up, that's cool. But he's in a fighting position of it. Anytime I turn, new center line. How do you know if it's really center line? How do you know? Because if he was the palm, and this is the test, if he was the palm, my entire body structure shouldn't be moving, not just one part. So if he was the palm right here at my shoulder, I ain't done this to them since the first class. I ain't had you do this since the first time you met me. But if he was to push here, he's just turning my top. He may turn a foot, but he's only turning one side and I can still hit him. Did he hit my center line? No. That's a no. Okay, because I'm even doing this for the karate people, the taekwondo people, all these people that would diss us about
You
Centerline.
still had a shared Centerline, correct? Because you know your personal Centerline was more, but you still had a shared Centerline, just like you pretty much did that instant here, like you were doing a ton da.
Well, the only reason why it worked, is because at least I was closer to your Centerline when I did that. But my body was turned. Because of that, it actually, and being honest, I may be hitting your Centerline, but because you didn't hit my Centerline, we're not in that relationship. What needs to happen, what needs to ultimately happen about this Centerline mess, first off, is look, it starts here. I'm just facing you, you just facing me. You can have contact contests or whatever. You push me on my center, my body's going back, I do it to you, your body goes back. You gotta learn that relationship. Then you start turning. So let's say I turn in a Chum Q stance. If you don't know a Chum Q stance, maybe your teacher just have you point the feet just a little bit that way and you just look that way. Now, I have yours. He doesn't have my sternum right now. He's gonna have about the start from my sternum to my chest, right around right in here. My whole body steps. Is that starting to make sense?
It's starting to remind me of the bracing video we did.
Yeah, everything. Man, Will, here's one of the greatest secrets of Wing Chun, if no one's ever told you or any of y'all. Here it goes. If your Wing Chun form or skills in the form or skills that you've been taught don't talk to each other in between the forms, y'all are totally missing out on how you grow. If that don't make any sense, I remember having to at least tell you, I don't remember if I told it on video, but here it goes. In the pole form Qits, it says the pole should only make one sound. Right? Now, if the pole should only make one sound, should not the hands, when it connects with other hands, does that mean you got to be so precise with your skill that you defend and attack in one move and you're done? Can it mean that? I ask these questions to myself because that's what helps me make my Wing Chun better. And now my pole form is now in a relationship and or talking to my Sunum down, my Chum Q, my UG is talking to all that, my wooden dummy skill. Is it true, or can it be true, that I can get in such a position with Wing Chun that I only have to make one, maybe two moves, and it almost sounds like I'm only making one sound, therefore my skill exercises the true meaning of efficiency? Man, it gets so deep. Maybe that's why it says that the Wing Chun hands should not clash. Because now you're not making a sound when you're clashing. Now we're getting, oh man, the more, like I said, y'all, the more and more you learn Wing Chun and the Qits and all that, they start talking to each other. It no longer becomes, this is Sunum down, this is Chum Q. It becomes, this is Wing Chun. You see the full person. You see the full power and beauty of Wing Chun. There will be no splits. That's only splits when you start teaching. When you start teaching to your students, there's a split there. There has to be this form versus that form. But the more you master it, the more the Wing Chun system as a whole stands the woman that first did it. And she is so beautiful. I am so married to this system. Best woman I ever been with. The only woman that ain't not lied to me, dog me, all that. I'm loyal. It's just like B.B. King to the blues. B.B. King was married to the blues. That goes back to what I always say, be with your skill. Intimacy. Boy, you see how deep that is? Boy, I put some philosophy on your ass if you ain't careful. Boy, literally, I'll have a stamp called philosophy and I'll dip it on your ass. Anyway, so in this
with the shift, pushing from the shift.
Pushing from the shift. Even when I turn this way, this is new Centerline for him to deal with. He could punch me here. He can push me here. He can even get me at this leg, and my body's going to move completely back because I am on this new Centerline. This is the new Centerline for me to fight off of and for him to hit and attack on. So if you go back for a second, I'm going to prove this point. Kick. Had I just been just a little bit more here and he kicked and it wasn't on Centerline, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. So you gotta know and understand not just Centerline, but the universal law of a turning Centerline, always turning. Mother core,
like
here.
Like the earth moving.
Here, yeah, like the earth moving. Mother core. You better understand that. That's how you get better. Now we're gonna talk about this kick. And I had to tell y'all that. Sometimes something so simple like that will open so many freaking questions. So many freaking questions. So much different knowledge. I should say it like that. So much different knowledge. So right here, we're like this. In Wing Chun, we're gonna focus on three main kicks. Truthfully, it's really only one main kick. Please, I'm a warrior god to the end. There's only one true kick. It's the front kick. One true kick. All these other kicks are either stepstones off of it, or it's relation to footwork or something else. Sometimes these other kicks are not even a standard. We treat the front kick like a true fist. So please understand that. Now, as I said that, but there's more kicks than just the front kick, then let's go from there. Or there's more kicks than just Jing Gerk. Let me say it like that. Because I don't want anybody to come to me like, Jing Gerk. Like, mofo, I know what the name of it is. Can I talk to anybody else other than Wing Chun people right now? Like, man, these Wing Chun politicians act like I'm about to go vote or something. Anyway, so he has the front kick he can present to me. I may be here, I'm facing towards him, but my body's like this or whatever. He front kicks. And it goes off. Now, how he did it, and there's many ways you could do this kick, and I'm going to explain. When you're kicking, when you kick, you can actually use this and just use this fulcrum, and then boom, you got full foot or even the bottom of the foot. There's another thing, it's like this. When I front kick, I'm going to use how we would do in a tradition. It's the foot turn, you have the knee going out this way, this is the kick. Better?
Much better.
I'm gonna put that back in. Put that part in. The form of Chum Q helps with that front kick. It shows you. Don't ever neglect it. That's one of the biggest reasons why I master Muay Thai and all of them, including my seafood. This is how I know. This is how I've always known that we was Muay Thai family. Only the Muay Thai family. Only. I said it. Only. You can look all day long. I got videos from Ho Ken Min, William Chung. I got videos from almost everybody. We are the only family that does the one-legged golden goose dance. You don't see anybody else doing that. Where literally, we take a part from that chum cue and we hold it. Then go in the bomb. It helps you practice stability. It helps you practice rooting off one leg. All of that. Then, if that's not bad enough, I'm the last generation to do it. I haven't made my students do it, and that's on me. That's on me. But we used to, in my pants, right? Do the form, zoomed out form, one-legged. That's us. That's Muay Thai. That is the power of Muay Thai. Boy, I love Muay Thai. Look, I love the power of Muay Thai, but that doesn't take away the fact that I love the power of Wang Chung or anybody else. I respect everybody. I will not talk nothing bad about anybody else. I used to talk bad about William Chung, but now I don't. That was some maturing growing up, right? Now, I had him do that front kick from that Chung cue. Boy, precision, skill. But front kicking on that center line, this being my center or whatever, and he had that point. That was that front kick. It worked out. My whole mass moved. Get what I'm saying? My whole mass moved. Why? Because whatever center line I was on, he attacked it, therefore my whole mass moved, therefore he maintained center line relationship. Once I go back from that point, and I'm like this from that kick, he can bum rush me and start attacking. Bum rush. Oh yeah, just like a freight train. We don't play with that.
Straight blast.
Straight blasting. Not like you can know straight blast, but you know what I'm saying. Train, run them over. In Wing Chun, we cannot play with self-defense. That's why a lot of times we don't spar as much. We've only been sparring in the past way. Since IP. Being honest. Sparring has not been there that long in Wing Chun. Because most of the time it's self-defense. We're dealing with Kung Fu versus Kung Fu. We're dealing with other skills. Yeah, we just dealt with it. Now we had to spar because we got foreigners. Foreigners with boxing, foreigners with taekwondo, foreigners with all these other skills. Well, taekwondo wasn't there at that time, but hell. But you know what I'm saying. So in that case, now we're sparring. Now we've added sparring. I'm so more traditional that half the time I don't even spar, even though we should. I need to give me some gloves. Anyway, so now we'll go from that part. Now let's go to side kick. Traditionally, side kick is this. I am on my side. Either I'm going to step up, and let me do it sideways a little bit so you can see the angle. Either I'm going to step up, or I'm going to step behind. Step behind is going to give me more distance, and I side kick. I will flat foot plant right into you, or use the heel as well. Does that make sense? Just going from that point. In Wing Chun, we can do a little bit different. In Wing Chun, we can literally look at you, and Will's going to do it to me. We can literally look at each other, and he can side kick. He can face forward more. he has a little turn, he can go into a Chun Q and do that side kick. That's a way for us to stay more front. When you do the 45 and Chun Q, you can do a side kick from there and stay more front. So you can always return back to Sun Dao, or you can fight off a Chun Q neutral. Your Chun Q neutral versus theirs. Okay? Now, old school. We would be standing like this. We would actually have the toes pointing because we do it out of goat. Because we did it, it actually showed the sides of the foot more. You can actually look in the front and see the size of the foot more than you would here. We will be here, we put the feet together and kick out. And kick out that way, or we'll kick out more angle. And we'll be still facing forward. We'll kick with the blades of our feet, like a cutting measure, like Fan Sao, with this side kick. This is a more of a Jing, Wang, Gerk. A front side kick, or a front angle side kick.
Vertical, horizontal.
So I'm literally like this, and we're cooling it, and I have my toes pointing in. I may be sitting in Giji Kuyuma, I may not. But I could go from here, and there's my side kick. Does that make sense? Without me even turning. Why? Because then I won't be telegraphing. Except for this point right here, I won't be telegraphing. So something has to happen with my hands. This is one of the ideas of a no shadow kick. If I'm attacking up here, from that point, you ain't seeing me do that. Okay? So he's doing that towards me. He got my legs here. He's gonna do that front side kick. Right. And in this case, it's hitting with the edge. He's not hitting with, oh, y'all can't even see it, but he's hitting with the edge of the foot. He's not hitting with the bottom of the foot. That's what makes it a tiny bit different. There, it cuts into me. Why do you need to know about a side kicking that can cut? Because most people have dealt with kicking. Go ahead.
Don't they call a kick that has a scraping motion? Don't they call it different from one group? They call it like Gerk or something like this.
Yeah.
The scraping kick.
Yeah, there is a scraping kick, but if it doesn't scrape, what is it?
Another type of kick.
Thank you. So, I know Gerk is correct. Gerk, scraping. That's absolutely correct. You are not wrong about that. But in order to do that, if he has my leg and he kicks at my knee, he has to scrape down. That's what makes the scrape. So, mind you, great question. I'm glad that question was in there because it helps them to learn. One of the biggest things you guys gotta know and understand is this. You gotta be on your dictionary. You gotta be on your English terms first. If I scrape, if I rake, I gotta know what that means with my hands and my feet. From there, then I'm gonna go into Chinese terms. So what does scrape kick mean in Chinese? When you do these techniques or whatever, if I just kick, and it's cutting like that, that don't feel good at all. It's just a side kick from that relationship. Coming from here, cut. There, cut. Woo! That felt nice. sometimes y'all be kicking Will so much, I gotta let him have his little revenge. You know, it's gotta happen. It makes him feel good. Makes your students feel great.
I'm not vindictive.
But I know I just be helping. Anyway, but if he scrape, there. Now, not only does it scrape, but then when he lands, it's what?
Dang Gerk.
Dang Gerk. You are correct, sir. I wish I had a $10 bill, I would have gave it to you. For being correct. Go for that million. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't got the money like that. Anyway.
Yeah, but you're stiffer on terminology, so I studied.
There you go.
You're stiffer on that one.
But dang Gerk, he's nailing now. He's nailing. And that's another reason why you even scrape in the first place. I don't scrape unless I can nail. That is my philosophy. I don't scrape unless I can nail. If I can't nail, I'm not scraping. No reason to scrape. Now, there is an idea of following. If I was to kick to here, and I follow up, maybe it's to the groin, something like that. I'll follow up, but I won't scrape if there's no reason. Now, speaking of that, Gerk, round kicking. But I wanna clarify some things. So, at least one thing that is true about our round kick that's not necessarily true with any other round kick. Now, because of English, like I said, sometimes you gotta really know your English to understand what you're trying to say in Chinese to understand anything. So let's talk about it. He's gonna round kick to my leg. Now, I'm not gonna tell him how to round kick. I want him to do whatever round kick he feels he wants to do. He did the traditional round kick. No matter how he went, he did the traditional round kick. That's still correct. Ooh, good one.
He actually feels pain.
Outside the meat, it's more strong because it's more muscle here. Inside, there's less muscle here. You can affect somebody better. Remember that. That's pressure points.
I'll be sure to remember that.
So, in this aspect, he round kicked. He got in the hair, right? Now, if I was face forward towards him and I didn't want to show the round kick, how would you do it? Correct. It becomes more
like that.
of a twisting. And I'm glad I let him do that. He showed it very well. That twist kick that would have been in karate, taekwondo, all these other martial arts is still a round kick. It would be called an inward round kick or a in round kick.
Lloyd, I've also heard it called Lloyd to Gerk and Noi to Gerk. You know, the inside one, Lloyd, outside one, Noi to Gerk.
In some cases. Now, mind you, Wing Chun or JKD?
Wing Chun.
I have to go back over that. So yes. So when you're doing that or whatever, he did that twist. He's doing a round kick, however way or whatever. You can tell that to a taekwondo karate professionalist, and they'll be like, and they may look at you crazy. But taekwondo, actually the more base of it came from Shotokan karate. If you go into the Shotokan karate book, it does not say twist kick. It may say inward round kick, in round kick. There, I said that part. If you don't know your history of your skill, your dictionary of your skill, all this is just flake. It's just flake. But there's a round kick there. There's a round kick turning right there. Like normal, I'm gonna do it to the outside so you can see. There's the twist kick, right? That's us doing a side kick and it's front versus a side kick if I use the side. There's all of that. But now that I said that, even with something like a side kick, that means this. Notice that when we side kicked it first, it was bottom of the foot, right? When we side kicked for the front, it was using the edge, right? So if you're on your side and you're side kicking, can you choose a side edge versus the bottom of the foot? And that's what makes Wing Chun interesting. I want you to have those kind of decisions. I want you to say, I need to hurt this dude. I need to break him down. I need to feel pain. I may cut him with the edge of my foot. Even, okay, great example. What is a front kick that's to the front, right, to the front, but I don't use the bottom of the foot, I use the inside edge of the foot. What is that kick called?
Gerk.
Gerk. It's just another front kick.